Hi, in this presentation, we're going to be discussing the prototype and user testing portion of our project, Pantry Pals. Our project team consists of Paige as a project manager. She led and helped us follow through on each project in addition to working largely on the prototype. Noah was assigned to user testing. He performed interviews with a multitude of users in order to gather information so our app could be as intuitive and helpful as possible, and he also helped immensely with the prototype. Next, Nat, or myself, was in charge of creating the PowerPoint script and voiceover, meaning I collected all information that other teammates provided and condensed them into slides, and I also worked a little bit on the prototype. Lastly, Khalid performed the project summaries. He revised and studied our past projects, providing concise conclusions to help understand how to proceed in the project. In Project 1, we worked towards figuring out the specifics of the issue we wanted to address, and after some brainstorming, we landed on food storage and inventory management. We wanted to create an app that helps remind users of expiration dates and manage the foods they already had while maintaining their busy lives. We determined possible reasons why people struggle with inventory management and solutions to these everyday issues, making sure to also write possible critiques to these solutions. We determined that our app would have a potential market with the users we were targeting, which were college aged students and young adults. We found some competitor apps such as Pantry and the Pantry Tracker, but they didn't offer some of the features we identified as potentially useful to users. For Project 2, we interviewed young adults and found that most of them had no method of inventory management and couldn't properly manage their food products due to misplacement of items or a heavy workload. When creating our design, we made sure to keep it intuitive. We wanted to maintain simplicity so that it would be easy to manage products and not add on to the stress they face daily. We also wanted to include best use methods, which would offer insight into not only product expiration but the ways that we could use the product in recipes before it expires. We created a wireflow to show the flow of our app and its simple navigation pathways, making sure users won't be confused upon usage. The first user is Candace. She's a 52-year-old former student, while the second participant, Nicole, who's 27 years old, and the third participant, Austin, who's 32 years old, are both students. We tested the Pantry Pal prototype with users by having them go through the app and talk through what they were doing. They were asked to say what they were thinking as they clicked through each screen so we could understand how they were interpreting the layout and features. Each session was done one at a time and took about 5 to 10 minutes. Before starting, we explained that the app was still in progress and that there were no right or wrong answers. The goal was just to see how they naturally used it. Participants were given a few basic tasks that match what someone would normally do in the app. This included adding a food item to the inventory from the barcode scanning page, checking what items were expiring soon, looking at saved recipes, and checking the grocery list. They were also instructed to register and delete their accounts and check their notifications page. While they were using the app, we paid attention to where they hesitated, what confused them, and what felt easy. We also noticed any comments they made while thinking out loud. At the end, we asked a few quick questions about how the app felt to use and what stood out to them, and whether they had used a similar app before and how this one compares. This helped us see what parts of the app worked well, how the visual hierarchy presented itself to a first time user, and what needed to be clear. The first participant, Candace, found the efficiency and intuitive interface of our app extremely helpful in knowing what they had in their pantry. They also complimented the grocery list feature for its convenience, but they expressed that they feel like the notifications page could include stock shortages, which we added to our prototype after user insight. The second participant, Austin, said his instinct was to add inventory to the app, which he found simple to do. He liked the barcode feature, he didn't have any suggestions, and he actually complimented how the visual hierarchy was good in that he saw the button that opened the barcode scanner feature immediately after seeing that my inventory was empty. Lastly, the third participant, Nicole, shared how they found our app to be much clearer compared to other nutrition or food inventory apps, with affordance and feedback being a large part as to why they knew how to navigate the app, with icons signaling what it represented and buttons changing colors, as well as the recipe tab not being overly complicated and actually proving to be helpful. Moving on to the interactive prototype section, where I'll show how to navigate our app. Our starting screen immediately shows the user the colors of our brand as well as the logo in order for the user to familiarize themselves with the rest of the app and our brand identity. We also decided to include a loading icon at the bottom in order for them to know that they have to scroll down to be taken to the next page. If they do so, they're taken to the login page. This is going to show that they either have to input their email and password if they are able to log in, or they have to click on forget password, or they have to click on not registered in order to go to the registration screen. If they click on email and password and once they input that in, they'll be taken to the sign in page, which then takes them to the home screen. Or if they click on click here to register, that will take them to register and then to the home screen. This page is the main page of our app. We decided to stick to 4 specific colors, those being a dark green, light green, a white, and sometimes a black. We thought that simplicity and more attentiveness to the user experience and them understanding how to use the app was of most importance. However, we also decided not to forget about some flair with simple drawings for illustration. Here we have the first compartment, the fridge. This is going to show a few recommendations that they can add by clicking on the addition sign. If there were items, they would be listed here, such as if they click on the pantry compartment, they can see here the Doritos, or the freezer is also empty. All of them have recommendations for the user. They can also search items if they have so many that they need to search, or they can click on the addition sign at the top for them to scan through a barcode. So once they click on the addition sign, it takes them to the barcode scanner. This will take them to the page where they can scan the barcode. If they click to scan barcode, that takes them to the page with all the information for the item, where they can also add the item, or they can simply click the X button in order to go back to the barcode scanner page and then go back once again to our main homepage. Now for the other pages, if we click at the bottom here, you can see here that the icons actually change color in order to show the user that they changed pages. This is our grocery page. They can actually add items by searching or once again clicking the addition sign at the top. They can also check mark all of the items that they have bought, therefore incentivizing the user to actually use the app while in the store. They also can see past orders in order to look through possible items that they might have forgotten to add. Once again, recommendations. Next up is the recipes page. This actually assesses the items that the user has and allows for suggestions as well as for the user to look at their saved recipes. If they click on the arrow here, it takes them to the recipe information where it shows all of the ingredients necessary for the recipe and also what they already have in their pantry. If they use the arrow again, it takes them back to the main page. And lastly, we have the settings page. They can actually take a look at the notifications of their items in our app. So you can actually see here at the bottom, they're able to see whether they want the notifications to appear on their home screen at all on their phone, how many times per day they want the notifications to appear, what times are best available, whether they want push, email, SMS, or all 3, as well as how many days they want this notification to be shown. Of course, it's also going to show whether something is low in stock or if it's expiring and why they're getting this notification. If they use the back button, they'll be taken back to the settings page, and there's a few things that they can take a look at. They can look at compartments, where they can change the settings of their compartments. They can look at past orders that they might have scanned, as well as security and account information in order to change their password and things like that. They can actually click on the arrows to go to each page. If they click on this arrow, they'll be taken to this page, the delete account page. This is essentially a reminder to the user that they're about to delete their account, just so they're completely aware. They can either click cancel and be taken back to the settings page, or they can click delete and be taken to this page to confirm that their account was deleted. If they click on account terminate successfully, it actually takes them back to the sign-in page. Now, if they click on the logout arrow, they'll also be taken directly to the logout screen. And that's our app. We chose to stick to simplicity with the user interface and the brand colors and logo, just so we wouldn't overwhelm the user with all the possibilities that the app does have to offer. We wanted to aim especially for affordance in order for the user to not get confused and be able to navigate the app with ease. Thank you for your attention.